Magnum XL-200 at Cedar Point was the first ever coaster to go beyond 200 feet. It was crazy back in 1989 when it opened, but now it's very polarizing. A lot of people love this roller coaster. Personally, I don't know, I just don't. In fact, it's my #1 worst roller coaster, and I've ridden Corkscrew at the same park and an SLC. That will give you an idea on how much I hate this ride. This was actually the hardest roller coaster to get on, even though I only waited about 15 minutes, but then when it was my turn to get on, I pulled down my restraint and was ready to ride. Then we went down, so I waited like 45 minutes and it still wouldn't work. I left the queue, and the second I got out, it opened right back up. So of course I went straight back on. I went to the magic seat, and I was very happy when it dispatched. The lift hill gives a great view of the rest of the park, and, you can't forget about the aero lift sound. The drop really isn't crazy. I mean, you might get a little bit of floater, but that's really it. So the first element is like this weird, I don't even want to call it an airtime hill, but like you get slammed into your very uncomfortable lap bar due to terrible profiling. So it's almost like you get ejected, but it doesn't feel like airtime. It's really weird. Maybe it's different in other seats. I only rode this in the magic seat. It's really not that painful. It's just very abrupt. For the rest of it, you just kind of stay in your seat. The next element is easily the best part of it, for me at least. It's this little speed hill right before the turnaround. You actually get pretty good sustained flow ejector airtime. And then this is where it all goes downhill. You go to a very jackhammery turnaround. And can't forget about classic aero transitions where you're banked like pretty much 90 degrees when you're not even turning yet. Not really painful or annoying. I mean, it is kind of annoying. But when you think you're finally finished the okay ride, the worst part is just about to come. If you know what I'm talking about, you know that I mean the triangle hills. Some people think that they're great, but personally, I think they're some of the worst and most painful elements I've ever been on. Specifically this one, the one right before the third tunnel. You just get slammed into that very uncomfortable lap bar so hard that hurts to the point where I actually had to sit out on some other roller coasters for the rest of the day. And I kind of surprised myself because I hadn't watched the POV since like a week before, so it surprised me when we went in the brake run instead of another triangle hill. But I was so happy when we did. By the time I got back to the station, I was clapping. And not because I liked it or anything, but because it was over. And I was just so happy to get out of that terrible train. The second I got off, I immediately knew that it was the worst roller coaster I've ever ridden. Now for the score, well, I think by now you should know that for me, it gets a 1 out of 10. At the end of the day, I know that other people love this ride, so I don't want it to be burnt to the ground or anything. But I'll never find myself riding Magnum ever again unless it gets new trains, new profiling, track, I don't know, something. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you in the next video.